Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian. Welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a great show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel, and be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANC. So let's get into this topic. So it's been a while since we reacted to something that Mase said. Last year we did a video about something that Mase said as it pertains to LeBron, and the video did really, really well. And I think one of the reasons why the video did so well was because here you have a celebrity, right, that most likely knows all these people, but that was still willing to keep it a bean when it comes to these subjects. A lot of times, man, people be, that's my man, so I'm not going to say this, I'm not going to say that. But Mase is like, nah. I have to give you guys my honest take, because otherwise I'm up here lying to the audience. And if you go back and look at that video, a lot of people applauded him for it. So what happened? As you guys know, there was this big conversation around the NBA this last week or so with the news that came out about Jeanie and her feelings towards LeBron James and what it's been like having him on his team. Some of the things that was said from the ESPN Baxter Holmes report. She didn't like the fact that he had an oversized ego. She even contemplated trading him at one point. She didn't like the fact that he didn't take any accountability over the failure of the Russell Westbrook trade. And she didn't like the fact that he didn't seem to show enough gratitude after the team drafted Bronny, right? So I tuned into a clip yesterday from Mase's show with Cam, and I think Michael Irvin was on there as well. Come talk to me. And they were talking about this very subject. So I think Cam passed the I think Mase spoke first and then Michael Irvin, and then Cam jumped in. But when it came time for Mase to kind of weigh in on this subject, from the first few words that he said, you already knew that you were going to get an honest, serious take. And I think he knocked it out the park with a lot of these points that he brought up. So what we want to do is we want to play what Mase had to say as it pertains to this LeBron Jeanie Buss situation. And then we're going to come back and continue on. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
I like them kind of comments. I ain't going to lie. I like when you hold accountable. I just do. I think we're all better when you hold niggas accountable. I think he should have been very grateful. That was not that Bronny shouldn't be in the league, but that was like a dream come true. When somebody make your dreams come true, you gotta be humble about that. I don't say that out of no Uncle Tom, and just real simple. That's a dream comes true. That's something we're never gonna forget as long as we watch basketball in history, that somebody was that great that they actually got to the place where their son could play on the same team. And to think about the stops they had to pull to make sure that this happened, I can see a person of power really want another person of power to show them some humility and some gratitude in that. I could definitely see that, because you got to remember, Boston had the pick. Boston would have picked Bronny. And I actually think he would have turned out better if Boston picked him. But so when it comes to that, should be a lot of gratitude.
LeBron talked about that being his dream. LeBron talked about that being one of the most important things for him. So if your organization, you shared that with your organization, and they delivered that, then there should be some gratitude there. Now, let me go on the other side. Compare that to, because I know brothers start saying, oh, well, playing, ain't he playing on the court forward, ain't he doing. Compare that to the other man that we always compare him to, which is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan couldn't get the team owner and that organization to even leave the championship team together for one more year and not get rid of the coach that they wanted.
Yeah.
So, and he had delivered all. You see what I mean? It's amazing for what they did. And yeah, LeBron should be, if he meant what he said, when he said it was one of the most important things in his life, then yeah, they made that dream come true. Something your money couldn't buy you, they made come true. Yeah, gratitude is deserved.
And not to also
And appreciation is deserved.
discount, there was a few players that had to be waived and decisions had to be made about other people's careers that made this possible. Right. So there was a lot that went into this.
So
I have thoughts.
So hold on, let me.
Yeah, I know Stat don't feel that, but if that was her son that got drafted, if your son was All-American, if your son was McDonald, if your son was a lottery and he goes to the Lakers and this happened with your son, you wouldn't have cared that it was LeBron. Yeah, she's definitely thinking. I mean, all of us knows this. So whether we talking about Stat in her youth or Killer or Michael Irvin or myself, we all know what it's like when you've gotten more for less. And then you meet somebody who wants you to do more for less. That's always a problem if I've been getting more for less. It's hard to give you more and you're giving me less when I've got more for less. That's just crazy. That's just the best way to put it. You got one young lady, she does everything. She doesn't require much. You get another young lady, she wants everything and she doesn't do much. She's a problem. She got to go. She got to go. I don't even have to ask y'all. I know everybody on the staff agree. Everybody on the team agrees. Do you agree with that, Stat? A guy that does, he doesn't do as much as the guys you had before, but he wants more. That's gonna be a problem for anybody.
So you heard what he had to say. I think he hit the nail on the head. He hit the nail on the head. The fact of the matter is this. People keep talking about nepotism. Oh, it's nepotism. Nepotism really works when you're the person that owns the thing. Nepotism is I'm the owner of the Lakers and I'm hiring my kids to have positions within the Lakers. In the case of LeBron and the Lakers, he's an employee of the Lakers. They pay him a salary, right? So it's not really nepotism. So if they decided to draft his son Bronny, which is something they push for, and we have other shows to prove this coming out today, then you should show some gratitude. But if you're looking at it from the standpoint of LeBron James, he felt like him being there is already enough, which is one of the things that Jeanie spoke about, which was she didn't like the fact that he was running with this idea that he was coming to save the Lakers. She didn't appreciate that notion. She simply didn't. So in his mind, he's like, I'm here. Y'all should be willing to do whatever it takes for me. If I want my son drafted, you guys make sure you do it. And I don't have to show you that much gratitude. And it's something that rubbed her the wrong way. It's something that rubbed her the wrong way. And as a matter of fact, if you go and listen to this show, Mase wasn't the only one that thought like, even Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin said, look, this guy has always said that one of his dreams or his biggest dream is to play with his son. So the Lakers made it a reality. So even from that standpoint, you should have shown more gratitude. Now, Cam jumped in and said, well, what do you mean by showing gratitude, this and this? I think we all understand if she felt like he didn't show enough gratitude, it means that he probably didn't. Right? It means that he probably didn't really show that gratitude. Because we all know Bronny didn't deserve to get drafted by the Lakers, period, end of story. Period, end of story. Because everything that we've seen since he's been drafted on the team shows you he doesn't deserve to be on the roster, period, full stop. There's no, oh, you're hating. Go look at the numbers. Go look at the games. There's nothing that would indicate this guy needs to be on the team. There's nothing. What? Based on what? Based on what? So look, man, I think Mase gave a solid response. I think he spoke to what a lot of people think. And also, he gave a viewpoint that a lot of these guys, frankly, are afraid to give. Because they just over there twerking it up all over the table and pouring honey all over each other's ankles. Right? And slapping each other with honey sticks. He's like, no, man, look, I understand this guy is a celebrity and all of this, but I still got to keep, because my thing is, because if you're not willing to keep it a bean when it comes to these subjects, then why do you even have a show? Like you could have just kept that to yourself. You could have kept that to yourself. So I applaud him for being one of the few people to actually give you a serious response and not sitting up there and then running away from the question. So big shout out to Mase for this one, man. I may send him the video after this. I don't know if he'll see it or not. But that was a fantastic response there. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about what he had to say here? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.